in the team with Jerry and Hugo. You're all left-handed.
Hindi ko pa mapaniwala. Maraming salamat sa suporta. Sana patuloy yung suporta niyo sa akin.
Pauline Hanson erupts. Leave her alone. The 12-word warning that shocked the Prime Minister and the tennis world. Hold on to your seats, champions Tennisitics family, because what we're about to tell you is absolutely wild. The world of professional tennis just collided head-on with a political firestorm that absolutely nobody saw coming. And trust us when we say the shockwaves are still reverberating across the globe right now. One of Australia's most polarizing and controversial political figures has just drawn a massive line in the sand, and she is standing squarely, defiantly, and unapologetically in the corner of a 20-year-old tennis sensation who has suddenly found herself at the center of an international storm. Pauline Hanson, the outspoken One Nation leader known for never backing down from controversy, has broken her silence in spectacular fashion, and let us tell you, she is absolutely furious. In a move that has left sports journalists, political commentators, and tennis fans alike completely reeling, Hanson has launched what can only be described as a blistering, take-no-prisoners defense of the Philippines' golden girl, Alexandra Eala. She's calling out what she describes as a grave injustice, a coordinated attack on a young woman whose only crime was speaking her mind. And then, in a moment that will be replayed in news cycles for weeks to come, Hanson delivered a chilling, direct warning to none other than Australian Prime Minister Anthony Albanese himself. The words she chose were calculated, precise, and devastatingly effective. Just 12 words that have sent shockwaves through the halls of power and made everyone in the tennis world sit up and take notice. What exactly did she say?
In this parliament, over the terms of 4 prime ministers, Prime Minister Albanese has easily been the worst of them. He promised he would lead a more accountable government in the wake of Scott Morrison's secret ministries. The Labor government's conduct in Parliament has been exactly the opposite of this principle. They have shut down debate on critical legislation, ramming through disastrous bills with the enthusiastic support of the Greens and Senator Pocock. Yesterday they refused to support Senator Price's motion supporting Royal Commission in child sexual abuse in Indigenous communities.
Why is the entire international tennis community now holding its breath? And how did a young Filipina tennis star become the unlikely focal point of a political battle that reaches all the way to the top of Australian government? We've got all the explosive details, the shocking quotes that everyone is talking about, and the complete breakdown of the massive, high-stakes match that everyone is now watching with bated breath. This is going to be intense, so let's dive deep into this unbelievable story. The tension surrounding this situation is so thick you could cut it with a knife, and it's getting thicker by the hour. Just days before the first serve of what should have been a straightforward new tennis season, the focus has dramatically shifted away from baseline rallies and championship points to front-page headlines and political grandstanding. Reports have been absolutely flooding in from media outlets across Australia, the Philippines, and beyond that Pauline Hanson, never one to shy away from controversy or stay silent when she believes injustice is being done, has stepped boldly into the spotlight to shield young Alex Eala from what she characterizes as a coordinated and vicious barrage of unfair criticism. The narrative that's brewing is intense and getting more complicated by the day. Critics, according to multiple sources, have allegedly been targeting the Filipina star relentlessly for simply speaking her truth, for daring to voice concerns that many others share but are too afraid to articulate publicly. This move, which Hanson and her supporters claim is nothing more than a young woman exercising her fundamental right to free speech, has apparently made Eala a target of unfair and disproportionate political backlash from powerful entities who don't appreciate being questioned or criticized. Hanson, true to her reputation, didn't mince words even for a second. In a statement that is already going massively viral across social media platforms, racking up millions of views and tens of thousands of shares, she painted a vivid and emotionally charged picture of a young athlete who finds herself under siege by forces far more powerful than any opponent she's ever faced on a tennis court. How can anyone be so cruel? Hanson demanded, her voice reportedly shaking with genuine emotion and righteous anger. She portrayed Eala not merely as a talented tennis player chasing rankings and trophies, but as a courageous young woman who has dedicated her entire existence, every waking moment of her life, to bringing glory, pride, and honor to her nation, only to be vilified, attacked, and torn down for daring to critique the establishment and demand better. Hansen posed the question that is now echoing and reverberating across Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and every social media platform imaginable, being retweeted and reshared thousands of times per hour. Is it cruel to criticize someone who is demanding justice for everyone? The rhetorical power of that question has resonated deeply with people who believe that young athletes, particularly those from smaller nations without the massive institutional backing of tennis superpowers, deserve protection and support when they speak truth to power. But then came the moment that genuinely stopped everyone cold, the moment that political analysts and sports commentators alike are calling the defining soundbite of this entire controversy. Hansen paused deliberately, looked directly into the cameras with an intensity that could melt steel, and delivered a 12-word warning that felt like an actual thunderclap echoing across the Australian political landscape. While the exact phrasing is being debated and analyzed by media outlets, the essence was crystal clear and unmistakable. Touch her again, and you'll answer to me and the Australian people. It was a direct, unambiguous challenge to the powers that be, a signal flare sent up to politicians, media figures, and anyone else who might be considering further attacks that if they want to come for Eala, they'll have to go through Hansen first, and she's more than ready for that fight. The political ramifications of this statement are absolutely huge, potentially reshaping certain aspects of the ongoing public discourse around athlete rights and free speech. But for young Eala herself, the pressure she's facing right now is absolutely stratospheric and unlike anything most athletes her age have ever had to deal with. She isn't just fighting for ranking points and prize money on the court anymore. Whether she wanted this role or not, whether she asked for this responsibility or not, she's seemingly become the face, the symbol, the living embodiment of a much larger, more consequential battle for free speech, athlete autonomy, and justice in the sports world. And if you want to talk about dramatic timing, about the universe having either a twisted sense of humor or a perfectly orchestrated sense of narrative drama, let's talk about what's happening right now on the tennis court. Because while this political hurricane swirls and intensifies off the court, creating headlines and dominating news cycles, Eala is simultaneously about to step directly into the biggest pressure cooker, the most intense spotlight of her young professional career on the actual tennis court itself. Amidst all the media frenzy, the political statements, and the social media firestorm, Alexandra Eala has touched down in Auckland, New Zealand, ready to compete in the ASB Classic, one of the premier lead-up tournaments to the Australian Open season. And she is absolutely not coming alone or unprepared. She has strategically teamed up with the American teen sensation, 18-year-old Iva Jovic, and this partnership is fascinating from multiple angles. Jovic is already a genuine force of nature in her own right, currently ranked number 35 in the world in singles, an incredibly impressive achievement for someone barely old enough to vote. She's a decorated junior champion who has already tasted WTA glory at just 17 years old when she captured the title in Guadalajara, announcing herself as a major talent and future star. Together, these two young guns, these rising phenoms, represent nothing less than the future of women's tennis. They're fast, they're hungry, they're fearless, and they're absolutely ready to prove to the world that no amount of off-court drama, political controversy, or media pressure can shake their focus or diminish their competitive fire. But here's where the story gets even more incredible, where the tennis gods seem to have intervened with either a wicked sense of humor or perhaps a cruel test of character and resilience. Because awaiting Eala and Jovic in the doubles draw is not just another competent team, not just another pair of professionals trying to make their way on tour. It is quite literally a wall of legends, a pairing that combines decades of experience, multiple Grand Slam titles, and an intimidation factor that most players couldn't handle even on their best day. Eala and Jovic are set to face a duo that strikes genuine fear into the hearts of players twice, even 3 times their age. The ageless queen herself, the incomparable Venus Williams, partnering with Ukrainian powerhouse and former world number 3, Elina Svitolina. Let's take a moment and really put this matchup into proper perspective, because the contrasts here are absolutely staggering. On one side of the net, representing youth, hunger, and the future of the sport, You have Eala and Jovic with a combined age of just 38 years. On the other side of the net, representing experience, achievement, and sustained excellence at the highest level, you have Venus Williams, a 45-year-old living icon with 7 Grand Slam singles titles and 14 Grand Slam doubles titles to her legendary name, partnering with Svitolina, a former world number 3 who currently sits at world number 14 and is in the absolute prime of her career. This is quite literally a generational clash for the ages. It is the fresh new wave crashing against the establishment. It's tomorrow versus yesterday. It's potential versus proven excellence. For Venus Williams, this tournament and this match represents something profoundly meaningful beyond just another doubles event on the calendar. At 45 years old, when most athletes have long since retired to commentary booths or coaching positions, Venus is still out here grinding, competing, refusing to let time dictate when her story ends. She's amassed a resume and collection of achievements that 99% of professional tennis players could only dream about in their wildest fantasies. And yet she's still lacing up her shoes, still putting in the work, still proving that true greatness, genuine excellence, has absolutely no expiration date. Every match Venus plays at this stage of her career is a testament to longevity, dedication, and an unquenchable competitive fire. For Svitolina, this partnership represents something different but equally important. It's about dominance, about leveraging her vast experience and her current top form to overwhelm younger, less experienced opponents. She's been in the biggest matches, faced the highest pressure, and knows exactly what it takes to win when everything is on the line. And for Eala, this match has suddenly, dramatically, become about so much more than just advancing to the next round or collecting ranking points. With Pauline Hanson's passionate words still ringing in the air, being quoted and requoted across news outlets worldwide, and with the eyes of the entire sporting world now fixed firmly on her every move, Eala has to somehow compartmentalize all of that external noise and pressure, step onto that tennis court, and perform at the absolute highest level against Venus Williams, one of the greatest players to ever pick up a racket. Can you even begin to imagine the nerves, the internal pressure, the weight of expectation? The critics, the skeptics, the people who think she should have stayed silent, they're all watching intently, waiting with barely concealed anticipation for her to crumble under the enormous weight of the controversy, to prove that she can't handle the spotlight that her words have created. But her supporters, the people who believe in her right to speak truth to power, and now seemingly Pauline Hanson herself standing as her most prominent defender, they're all betting on her resilience, her mental toughness, her ability to channel pressure into performance. This match is going to be absolutely electric, a must-watch event that transcends normal tournament play. You have the raw, explosive power and aggressive baseline game of Iva Jovic combined with the crafty, creative lefty game of Eala, trying to systematically dismantle the accumulated wisdom, tactical brilliance, and combined power of Williams and Svitolina. It's a comprehensive test of mental fortitude every bit as much as it is a test of physical skill, technical ability, or tactical acumen. The question everyone is asking, will the 12-word warning, the public support, the sense of fighting for something bigger than herself, will all of that embolden Eala to play the absolute match of her life, to reach down and find performance levels she didn't even know she possessed? Or will the battle-tested, championship-proven veterans use the distraction, the external pressure, the media circus to their calculated advantage and methodically sweep the talented but inexperienced youngsters aside with clinical efficiency? Recent updates from Auckland indicate that both teams have been practicing intensely, and the buzz around this first-round doubles match is already surpassing attention typically reserved for semi-final or final matches. Tournament organizers are reportedly considering moving the match to a larger court to accommodate increased spectator interest and media coverage. Eala has been spotted working extensively on her serve and return game, clearly preparing for the power and precision that Venus Williams will bring. Meanwhile, Williams and Svitolina have been practicing their net play and communication, the essential elements of successful doubles tennis that can often overcome raw talent and individual ability. The broader tennis community has been weighing in as well. Several prominent coaches and former players have expressed their thoughts on social media. Rennie Stubbs, the former world number 1 in doubles and current ESPN commentator, tweeted that this match represents everything beautiful about tennis, the intersection of generations, the passing of wisdom, and the hunger of youth challenging established excellence. She noted that regardless of the political controversies swirling around Eala, what matters most is what happens between the lines, and that this match gives the young Filipina star the perfect opportunity to let her tennis do the talking. Others have pointed out that Venus Williams herself has been no stranger to using her platform to speak on important issues throughout her illustrious career. She's fought for equal prize money, spoken out on social justice issues, and used her voice to advocate for change. In many ways, the meeting between Williams and Eala represents a symbolic passing of the torch not just in tennis ability, but in the tradition of athletes who refuse to be silent when they see injustice. The ASB Classic has, in the span of just a few days, transformed from a standard pre-Australian Open tune-up tournament into what might be the most interesting, most watched, most talked about tournament on the entire planet. The script genuinely couldn't be written any better if this were a Hollywood movie. You have a young star under siege from powerful forces, a controversial political firebrand coming to her defense in spectacular fashion, and now a dramatic showdown against the greatest living legend in the sport. The narrative practically writes itself, and yet it's all completely real, happening right now, unfolding in real time before our eyes. What happens next could define not just Eala's career trajectory, but could set important precedents for how athletes, particularly young athletes from smaller nations, navigate the treacherous waters of speaking out on important issues while maintaining their competitive focus. The match against Venus Williams and Alina Svitolina will be watched by millions, analyzed by experts, and remembered regardless of the outcome. If Eala and Jovic can pull off what would be considered a massive upset, it would send a powerful message about resilience, about refusing to be intimidated, about rising to the moment when everything seems stagnant. If they fall short, it will still have been an invaluable learning experience, a measuring stick against greatness, and proof that she showed up and competed despite enormous external pressure. This is precisely the kind of drama, the perfect storm of sports and society, competition and controversy, that makes tennis so incredibly compelling and utterly unmissable. It's never just about forehands and backhands, serves and volleys. At its best, tennis is about character under pressure, about standing your ground when powerful forces want you to back down, about finding your voice and refusing to be silenced. We will absolutely be tracking every single second of this match, every point, every game, every pivotal moment, and every development in the ongoing Hansen-Eala saga as it continues to unfold. So, Champions Tennisitics family, we want to hear from you. What do you think about all of this? Was Pauline Hanson absolutely right to step in and publicly defend Eala, or should she have stayed out of sports-related controversies? Do athletes have a responsibility to speak out on important issues, or should they focus solely on their sport? And here's the big question. Who is your money on for this blockbuster match? Are you backing the young guns, the hungry duo of Eala and Jovic who have everything to prove and nothing to lose? Or are you going with the legends, the championship-proven combination of Venus Williams and Alina Svitolina, who have seen everything and won everything? Let us know your predictions, your thoughts, your hot takes in the comments section below. We read every single comment, and we absolutely love hearing from you. If you enjoyed this deep dive into one of the wildest stories we've covered all year, please do us a huge favor and smash that like button right now. Hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell so you never miss a single beat of the action, drama, and incredible stories that we bring you every single day here on Champions Tennisitics. We'll see you in the next video with more updates, more analysis, and more of the stories that make tennis the greatest sport on earth.
Now, do the best I can, Rev. I guess I always say like so much has changed, but nothing's changed at all. On my day-to-day, I'm still working the same.
You know I'm never really sober. You know there's really only